Okay, I have a simple but fun effect to share with you today that carries quite a punch. So for this, I'm going to assume I have two spectators, spectator A on the left, spectator B on the right. Now what you need them to do is go through the deck, and each of them needs to choose 3 memorable cards. So these are cards that they can readily remember throughout the routine. So they might choose like 3 queens or 3 aces or 3 diamonds or something, okay? But the important thing is the only person who sees spectator A's cards will be spectator A. The person doesn't show them to spectator B or the performer. The same thing for spectator B. They're the only one that sees their set of 3 cards, okay? So in some sense, the only person truly flying blind in this, who hasn't seen any of the faces of these 6 cards, will be you, the performer. You haven't seen anything, okay? Now just for the sake of simplicity here for the demonstration, I've chosen face cards in clubs for spectator A and face cards in hearts for spectator B, okay? But of course, I would not see these at the start. So really the way that the cards would begin is each of them would set down their set of 3 into a pile like that, okay? And then you just tell them, well, let's begin mixing these cards. Maybe we'll alternate here. I'll take one here, and then maybe I'll take that one next, and then that one, and then maybe this one, and then that one. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to have both of you independently help me mix these cards thoroughly. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to use a very powerful shuffle that has been used for a very long time because it's so effective in mixing the cards. It's called the mange over under. In fact, I'll demonstrate it to you so that you know what you're choosing here. So the mange over under, how does it go? You push the top card into your other hand. The next card goes over, next card goes under, over, under, over. Okay, so that's a mange over under. So spectator A, would you like me to perform any more of those on the packet? Are you happy with the mixing as is? You want it done 2 more times? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll do over, under, over, under, over. Okay, and then over, under, over, under, over. Okay, spectator B, should we perform that shuffle any additional times? It's your choice. Just once more? Okay. Over, under, over, under, over. Okay. Now note to you as the performer, the spectators can ask for any number of applications of the mange over under as they like. They truly, truly can. Okay. And you'll still be able to finish in the way that you want to at the end. Okay, so those are truly free choices on how many times we apply it. Okay, so once they're content with the mixing, all you need to do, so just watch what I do. I'm going to deal down the first 2 on the left, next 2 on the right, the next one on the left, the final one on the right. That's all I'm going to do. Now, speaking to you as the performer, there are many ways to finish that I've thought of, and so you can come up with your own way to finish if you would like. But one way is to just turn to one of the spectators and say, can you point to either pile? And maybe they'll point to this one here, and then you just have them turn over just the top card, like that, okay? And then you ask them a very simple question. Is that one of the 3 cards that you chose at the beginning? Well, there's only 2 answers, yes or no. If they say yes, then you would just put this pile in front of them, move this one in front of spectator B. If they say no, you would leave that pile right there, and this will actually be spectator A's cards, okay? Now we know that I had the clubs over here and the hearts over here. So the spectator, if they're being truthful, will say, yes, that's one of my cards. And you say, okay, well, very good. I'm going to set that packet in front of you and set the other packet in front of spectator B. Do you guys want to take a look at the cards within your respective packets? So spectator A would pick it up and go, okay, I doubt my other cards are... Wait a second. And of course, spectator B is going to go, yep, I recognize that, and that. You have perfectly not only separated the cards according to spectator A and B's randomly chosen cards at the beginning, but you now have their correct packet of cards in front of each of the spectators. Okay, how does this work? Seeing that you saw nothing as the performer, that's the important thing. In fact, in some ways, you won't even know if you succeeded until you get confirmation from the spectators. The only reason you'll know that you succeeded is because of the mathematics driving this. So let's talk about that. So why does this work? And then I will talk about how I organize those two piles at the beginning. Do you remember when I did a left, right, and so forth? Okay, so it's easy to do. So let me just show you here. Okay, so I have a one-page little write-up to explain this. So this is based on a really cool invariant structure I've recently discovered for 6-card packets. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, an invariant structure, at least on my channel, is a structure for which a shuffle either leaves it alone as is or, quote, inverts it. What does it mean to invert? It just means it switches the assignment of the cards from either spectators A's card or B, or if you want to think about it in terms of like zeros and ones, okay? So what I've done here is I have the sequence here, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Now, if you want to think about, in my example, I actually had red cards and black cards, right? So if you want to think about this as like red, red, black, black, red, black. And then, quote, the inversion of that is where the red and black cards switch places or the zeros and ones switch places. That's the same thing. So what the mange over under does is it takes a sequence like this and, quote, inverts it, changes it to its inversion in which zeros and ones have been switched. Well, why is that helpful? Well, it's because both of these sequences can be easily separated by the same procedure. The same procedure will separate the spectators' cards into two piles. Now, you won't know which pile goes with which spectator until you have the top card of one of them turned up and some kind of confirmation, is that one of your cards or not? Once you get that answer, then you know for sure where the piles go, and then within the piles, those will be the cards chosen by those individual spectators, okay? So at the end, all I did was, you remember I did a left, left, right, right, left, right, okay? So it's like you're putting down this one, left, left, then right, right, left, right. So I'll be putting the zeros and ones together, okay? So let me show you how I set up the packet at the beginning. Here's a quick note, if you're interested. You can do some additional mixing beyond the mange over-under. You can do the Charlier 1 shuffle that will further convince the spectators that the cards are thoroughly mixed. The only qualification I need to make here is if you perform this, you need to perform it an even number of times. Charlier 1 is equivalent to a 50% cutting of the cards. And if you cut a packet twice, then it returns it to its original order. So if you're interested in learning about the Charlier 1, I'll add a link in the description below. So that's an additional mixing you could add to this, but you just need to be sure you perform it an even number of times. Ideally, maybe just twice, so that it doesn't take too long. Okay. So let me show you how you set it up. That's the key here. So once you set it up, it's going to work for you. Okay, so we had these two packets here. Since we're taking cards and setting them down to build a packet from bottom to top, we need to read these backwards, okay? So, for example, I believe these are the black cards, right? Clubs, hearts. So all I did in my mind's eye, I put a black, then I put a red, and now either one of these can go next. It doesn't matter which. You can kind of make a big deal of which one. Maybe I'll put that one and then that one. And then the red ones are over here. You just pick them up and go, well, maybe we'll just put them down in the order that I found them on the pile. Okay? So you just kind of make it look like it's a random set of choices that have brought about this packet. But the fact is, it's going to have the organization that we need. Red, 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 black, 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 red, red, black, black, okay? So when you perform the mange over, under, the over, under, it's going to convert it to this other one over here. So now it's black, black, right here, red, red, right there, black, and then red. Okay, you see that there? Okay, now either one of these, so it doesn't matter how many times you bounce back and forth between these. When you're done, you just need to perform this little procedure here of left, left, right, right, left, right. And then you are guaranteed to have separated the spectator's two sets of 3 cards. Now we just won't know necessarily whose pile is whose, so you flip one up, turn spectator A, let's say, and say, is that one of the cards you remember? And they're going to say yes if they're truthful. So you know all of those, not just that one, you know all of those are spectator A's. You haven't even seen these. And you know these are spectator B's. And that's why their minds explode when they find out that somehow their cards had been returned to them despite all of the crazy mixing that was very much controlled by them in the choices that they made. So, hope you enjoyed that and encourage you to take a look at other videos on the Absolute Map Magic channel.